Today's the holidays, Christmas, and wanted to kind of talk to you today. In my career field, I see a lot of instances of loneliness. I've seen people at their loneliest. They're not always that lonely due to choice. Sometimes it's just the way life is going for them. It's not always something they choose to be like. Whether they lost a loved one, whether maybe they're older and had lost their significant other, maybe they're younger and by choice, maybe they're going through a hardship and just has lost everything around them during that time period. And it creates a lot of loneliness. It's important to me because me and myself and what I've done for most of my life is really focused on my career, focused on things in my life also, let some things kind of take over that more or less would make you be lonely because of the idea that you are trying to succeed so much for yourself, right? And you kind of just really neglect everything. And what I see with my field now and really seeing people during this time of year after year, and kind of just understanding the way things work now a little bit better, especially with the mental health stuff with people, you see a lot of people who take the extreme measures. They take that to the next level. They take themselves out of the equation. That's interesting because a lot of people, I think, look at it as they're a coward. And I do believe in some degree, and I have always thought this, that you are being somewhat of a coward, right? Like you are, because you're just too scared to face the music, too scared to do whatever, right? Now, if it's accordingly to, a terminal illness, that's different, right, guys? But, when it comes to the idea of death, death is always coming. Death will always, always, always win, no matter what. Death is the one race that you can't win. Death is the one thing that you can't beat. That no matter how much time you've put in, no matter how much effort you've put into yourself, things around you, death is always going to win, right? That is so important in regard to the way that you think. In my field, I have been around so many different times where I've seen people at their absolute loneliness state, man. Not only are they lonely, but they're the loneliest, man. They are all the way at the bottom. It may be by choice. It might be because they're down on their luck. It might be because they just have a bad time. It might be because they are older and they have a significant other that they've lost after 50 years of marriage, 60 years of marriage. Just take care of somebody the other day, and they're 60 years deep, man. 60 plus years deep. Just so impressive to me. And, they're always there for each other. And it really makes me just kind of look at other things where I have other people come in and they're not, let's say. Let's say they are lonely. And a lot of people that go through things, bad things, that come and tear their life down, whether it be letting demons into their life, whether it be ruining things on their own, making the bad decisions, letting vices take over, those people choose that death is going to be that option, right? When death is always going to be something, why rush it and make it come faster, right? And a lot of people are probably more guilty for this than you think. Uh, you know, Me, myself included, on certain things, I can admit to certain things. And, it's impressive of what your mind can do to try to say that if you aren't around, you can basically take yourself out of the equation and then everything else doesn't matter, right? If you believe that you're the reason that all these hardships are coming for all these other people, or you're putting people through so many different things and you're really not doing anything worthwhile, or, maybe you're just scared and you can't really get through the fear and the anxiety of what is attacking you right now, and you think, well, the only idea I have is if I just take myself out of the equation, then in reality, nothing else can get worse, right? Like nothing else can get worse. You make that final decision, that final idea on a temporary situation. Now, obviously, terminal illness is different, but let's be real here. When you are really at your lowest, and I heard somebody quote this the other day. something like it, I'm assuming, similar, paraphrase, that when you're at your lowest, don't make those decisions. You just keep steady pressure on it and you keep moving, right? You just keep moving, you keep moving, you keep moving. And I think that's so impressive to think of as an ideology, right? When you're at your lowest, everything else around you is the hardest. But taking your life is the easiest, right? And it is. It is. It's the easiest decision in that moment. That's the easiest decision. But knowing that maybe the easy road got you to where you are, maybe it got you to a bad spot. Making bad decisions got you to that bad spot. That's important to think about. If all those easy decisions got you to a spot where the easiest next decision is to take your life, why not just keep pressuring it? Why not say, all right, nah, not today, man. Not today. I want to keep pressure, man. Keep pressure on it. I'm already there. I have the idea. I know that's what I want to do. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm good with that. All right. Easy decision. But the easy decision is what got you to that situation. So if you could sit there and say to yourself, all right, well, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to take a step forward and I'm going to get to my absolute peak. What I believe my peak is. At that time, that's when you make that decision. That's when you make that decision. Let's be real. Because then at that point, it's not the easiest decision. It's going to be the hardest decision. Because now you've seen what you've created. Now you've seen what you've been able to do. You don't have to sit there and say to yourself, well, I'm at the bottom. This is the easiest decision I think it is. Yes, it might be selfish on certain stuff, and I might be upsetting people and really hurting a lot of people, but it's the easiest. Okay? Why not put a step forward? Put a step forward, because if hard work may have got you to a point, but bad decisions that are easy to make got you to a worse point, why not just work harder in that situation to then drive yourself and propel yourself to the next level up, right? Because in reality, you don't really have anything that's really standing in that way at that point. Because since you've decided that you were going to just take care of yourself and take care of it, there really isn't anything else, right? Like, there's nothing else to really mess you up, because everything else is just external now. That's a second thought, because you've taken that decision to make it about yourself and say, all right, I'm going to go ahead and pull myself out of this. And if I take myself out of that equation, everything else around will clean up. It will, but the problem is there is no coming back from certain things. And it's not the idea of coming back as in like, well, maybe I didn't want to come back. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is there is no coming back. So if it was a temporary problem that was on the road to something that was really meant for you, and you prematurely did it because you're at the bottom, what was the point of it and what did you achieve? You really achieved nothing. Why not sit there and say to yourself, well, I could really push through this and I could gain something that maybe I never thought possible if I just drive through it. And listen, on times of heartache, in times of heartbreak, in times of you really feeling like you're going to lose everything, buddy, you are gonna be down and you are gonna lose it all. You are gonna lose yourself. You will. You will absolutely likely lose your mind in some fashion, because the process in the way you were thinking is what got you to that situation. If you don't break it all the way, 100% tear it down, it takes you to the bottom. It's like if you wrap something on your ankle and you jumped in a lake and you just kept getting almost there. And you said, well, I could take one more paddle up. But you didn't release it yet. Pulls you back down. You're tired now. One more paddle. Keeps taking you down. If you commit to the last breath that you have, and you commit to untying that, you commit to getting yourself off of that weight dragging you down, you might get right to the end. You might feel like you're about to die, because you have nothing. You've lost it all. If you stay under one more second, you are going to lose it all, and that's what you feel like. But if you take one paddle, you can only last so long, and then you're gone anyways. So what does it really change anything to just take one more second, to keep one more bit of pressure, to take it one more day and keep pushing? Even right now, when it's the holidays, and it's hard, man. It's hard when you just don't feel like you fit in, or you don't feel around anybody, or you're lonely during holidays. Man, reach out to a friend. Reach out to somebody. I know that the gyms are closed. I know that, right now there's not a lot of things going on. Christmas Day is a little bit harder. Go out for a walk, man. Just go out for a walk. And when you get down, go out for another walk. And go out for another walk, man. Hit somebody up. Say, hey, man, you got a couple minutes? You got a couple minutes to talk? I just need a couple minutes to talk. That's all I need. You can do it. Right now is the hardest time, man. And death is always coming for us. It will come for us. It doesn't matter, man, if you're asleep, awake, around somebody, in love, out of love, happy, sad, proud, anything, depressed, anxious. It's going to come for you no matter what. Your timeline is your timeline, and no matter what, you can't beat the race. So don't end the race prematurely, but understand why you think that way is okay. It's okay to believe and to think that that might be it. But then also have the availability to understand that's not the only thing. If you want to address it later, when you're high on a mountain and you're at the top of your game and you're at 100%, you want to revisit it then, and you still think that that's what you need. I get it, man. Talk about it then. As in, really address it then, right? But for now, when you're at what you're at, or you're suffering what you're suffering through, just steady pressure, man. Because everybody else around you, you'll probably find somebody with the same type of pressure that you have that's trying to do the same thing, man. And maybe just opening up to somebody and talking to them, maybe it opens up a conversation. Maybe it opens up somebody to speak to you, not for any sort of gain, just to speak, man. Maybe you'll find something else about yourself. Maybe you'll find out about yourself. You'll find out about something that inside, it's something you didn't know and you were searching for, and you just needed a little bit of a help, man, to find the answer. A little bit of a push to get that next step, man. To get yourself to that next level. Maybe that's all you needed, man. Maybe that's all you needed. And it can be. But understand that no matter what, man, it can't be done unless you just take that one more step. So no matter what, keep in it, keep the pressure, always be better every day. And even when you feel down, I promise you that you're getting to the next level. It's just a little bit of downgrade, man. Everybody hits it, everybody feels it. You took a step back, it's all right, take 2 forward. 1 back and 2 forward is still 1 forward, buddy. Think about that, man. Don't quit until you're done. And if you ain't never done, then you never got to quit. So stay after it.